Hello, this is the price action for yesterday, the EURUSD 3-minute chart. We had a spike, which formed a range and a double top. Let's go up to the 15-minute chart to see how this formed. So on Friday, of course, we did eventually create that big measured leg down in the US session. And then yesterday, we started to channel up. I've had a little bit of overshoot there. It's come back into the channel, and the channel's still in play. And then we've had this huge overshoot at the start of the London session, and then that has failed, and it's created two legs sideways. So it doesn't always have to create two legs back like that and completely reverse. Sometimes it will create two legs completely sideways, and that's what's happened, and that's why we have this trading range. So we've overshot, it's failed, and there's still some bullish momentum, and it's come back up and gone sideways for two legs. And then it's created a double top that's a high double top, and it's ticked back, and it's failed to break out of this range. And that's also giving you a pretty good swing trade, but that's you'd have to hold through into the US session. But yeah, it's pretty tight range. It's like 15 pips, and then we had this small range for a lot of the night, which is really like a channel on the other smaller time frame. But that was it. Yeah, it was a harder night last night. The US banks was Labor Day, so it was just a tougher night. Not as much volume in there. Okay, so we've had this spike up. So at the start of the night, you're watching it sort of spike and sort of channel up here a little bit. So it sort of spiked up there again and channeled. And you see it break out of this range and overshoots this channel. So we are expecting maybe it fails here, and this is right at the start of the night. But you've got to draw your micro channel on there, and there's no real room to get in there because it's running down that channel line. So you've got to be patient. And then we break out of this range, and you're holding, and then once it breaks above these highs, you are expecting it to head on up again. And remember, like if you overshoot on the 15-minute, one of these bars is a lot of bars on the 3-minute. So you just got to understand that you're playing this bigger green channel, and you could get a lot more bars before we fail. Yeah. So anyway, so we take that trade, and I just scalped out when I took that trade. Anyway, and then we have this wedge here forming this channel, and that also fails. It's a smaller pattern. That is a channel there, and it fails. So we are expecting those two legs back. So you get the failure there, and then you have this other little doji bar here. So once it fails below that doji, I'm going short back to the EMA. So I took that trade as well. Head back to the EMA, and then you get a lower high here, and I didn't take that, but it heads back and it overshoots this micro channel line. So again, you're drawing in your range. Really, we're just playing these ranges. So you want to keep looking for the overshoots of channels, find the range, trade the breakout. Is the basic gist. And then, so we break out of that, we create a double top, and we create like it ticks back higher, just a little bit higher than this bar here. So it's a higher double top. So yeah, going short there is not a bad trade. So I took that trade as well. So we go head on down here, and that creates another leg. You don't know now. Maybe you are going to come down and test this channel again. You're going to stay inside this channel for a little bit, but we don't. And I think we are overshooting here a little bit. So by this time of the night, I had already stopped, and I've actually recorded my trades last night I recorded two of my trades last night, and I'll show you the third one, because I just paper traded because it was the banks were closed, and I just traded on my iPad, but I did record some stuff. So at the end of this video, you can watch that if you like. And then we head on down here, and we overshoot, and we have a little range here. And then we break out of that range, but we don't know at this point like what's going to happen. Are we going to break out? Are we going to retest this pink channel now? And another thing I did when I was taking this third trade last night was I got my pink channel on early. So once I started to see it reject on here, I had multiple, like, say confirmations or whatever, but I just say multiple positives for the trade. So I could just go short there. Yeah, so kind of thinking we do channel down a little bit. Anyway, so once we overshoot here, we break out of there. We have lots of bullish bars in a row, and it's very hard to enter on this little range. So it's hard to take any trades there because you've got so many bullish bars in a row, and it kind of fails there, but you don't know this is really going to be the high. Maybe it heads up a little bit more. So I just left it alone, and we head back down to the channel here. and I wasn't trading anymore. This is all just filled in this morning. So we then have we then head on out of this little trading range. We head down to the bottom here. So I want to show something. So you're creating a higher low here. So whenever you're creating a higher low, I know we're in a trading range now because you've seen it go down, you've seen it going up, you've seen it going down. The EMA is flat. So, drawing a channel like this at your range doesn't really work unless it does work. That's what I'm going to say. So sometimes it works to draw them flat like this, like in these littler channels. Once you start seeing these higher lows forming, just tilt your channel up and it will give you more information. So now we've broken out of that channel, we've overshot this micro channel line. We're definitely going to create some sort of rangy pocket here, more than likely. So draw in your little range, and you're playing that range, and we fail out. If we fail out of here, we know the highs, and we're expecting those two legs. So once it goes below that bar again, so it's giving you a second, sort of a little mini second attempt down, you can just go short there. And then you head on back and you retest this range again. So it's like a breakout retest or a breakout pullback, whatever you want to call it. And we play that and we're going short down to the lows here. Whereas if you had it flat, you may think the lows are all the way down here, but just tilting that channel along the higher lows and creating channels up and tilted ranges instead of just flat ranges really does help get you more precise with your entries and exits. And then we hit the bottom here and we have this really good bullish bar here. So I would be thinking we may be going up here. We may be creating a double bottom now, because on the 15-minute, you'd be looking at it going, well, maybe we do come up and we come up with a double top. We do come up and create our two legs sideways. We're in a range. So, we're probably going to head back up to the top of that range. So maybe you hold for the longer trade there. I've marked it as a scalp. I've just got it orange. Anyway, we break out of there, so you don't know at this point. Maybe we fail and we head back and we head down there, but it doesn't. So it tries to break out of this bigger green channel. It tries to go back in there, and it doesn't go back in there. So it's like a breakout retest there. So we get that breakout retest bar. We can go long there, expecting to get to the double top or get to the highs for a scalp. And when it double tops and fails here, I would be looking to enter, and you can maybe ride that down for a swing trade because it is a higher high. It does tick above that high, and it's clearly failing. So maybe I'll make this a bit bigger area to look at. So if you don't go short in there, maybe you're going short in here once you break below, and you're just holding, you're putting a stop up pretty high. So you've got to have a wider stop. It's swing trade, it's not a scalp trade. And you're just running that hopefully through a few legs down or a couple of swings down. But that was the night. Because it's a bank holiday today in the US, I'm thinking I may not trade tonight, and I'll be helping my wife with some things. So what I'll do is I will maybe do some paper trades tonight on my iPad. This is the pre-start to the Euro session, the London session. So at the end of last week, we got that measured leg. So there's been two massive legs down. And we're sort of attempting to go up here just before the market starts in probably 27 minutes from now. And sort of created this channel here and broke out, and then spiked up again and created this other channel here. Maybe we get this measured leg here, and then we fail out the other side and we come back down. First attempt's probably going to fail to break out anyway. There is a lot of people taking profit now. So when this comes back up, there'll be people going, no, I want to get some more profit, I want to get some more profit. But they'll know that this is probably where it's going to fail, because there's it's two legs up to there. And if it fails out here, we're probably going to get two legs down there. If it fails and returns back into here, maybe we'll head all the way back down to the other side of the channel. But yeah, so just pre-session, I'll just draw up how I think things formed. So we've got a trading range here. It's sort of overshooting a little bit on the micro channel line. There's not really a micro channel line there, but anyway, there's a range here. So I'm really looking for ranges. And then we break out, and then we head back down, and then we overshoot here, so that creates another trading range. So when that first happens, you'll have your channel something like this, because you're just pulling down from there. But you're at the bottom of a channel. And then you see this wedge start to form, and then you see a failed second entry short. And you can go long there for a scalp. Yeah, and then it spikes up very strongly. So this is now a higher low. And another thing that's useful to do is to have your fib just on the spike and just put it to the top. And you know you're at the 50% point, and that's another thing to be looking at. So people are buying above the 50%. That's good for the bulls. So, but what I would do is I would tilt it. So I would be tilting it. It's a higher low. So I'm tilting this, and when you tilt it, you'll get a better representation of where your high is, rather than having a flat channel. If you think this is going to channel up, and you're getting a higher low here, it's actually better for me to have it tilted so I can get a better target. So that's your first target. If you take the trade in here, you know you can probably ride it up to the highs here, and maybe we do get the second leg, but you don't know. But you know, whenever something channels, I'm always looking for those three touches, and you can swing it. So you can just hold, buy in, and just swing trade it. Yeah, it's going to come back down and reach right down to where your entry point, and then it's going to head back up. But you can swing trade this stuff too, for that measured leg, and just hang in there, go away, and come back later. Kind of thing. But yeah, these channels are really good to start drawing the bigger channels and the smaller channels. And as I said before, you want to see the overshoot, draw your range from the breakout area down to the lows of it, and then you're playing this smaller range. You know what I'm saying? Inside a bigger channel. That's the game. So you're playing these ranges. It broke out this way, you're going that way. You know, it failed second entry short there. Failed to go down twice, once, twice, failed. There. This one's a bit different. It's like maybe like a little bit of a wedge. There's like a lower high there. Yeah, it's harder to see, but as I said on the other video, just go down to like the 1 minute, and just, if you can't see what's going on, and see if you can make out what is going on. But you're basically just looking for learning how to trade trading ranges, and you just trade the breakouts of these mini breakouts. So wait for the overshoot. This one's different, that it doesn't go sideways. So it does overshoot this micro channel line. So you may draw in this like little line like this, but after it starts channeling up like that, you know it's in like a channel up, going up, and it looks like a micro channel. So you just delete that if it's not correct. And then you just put your little micro channel line on top, and then you see it fail. So expecting those two legs, it sort of creates this range again. There's a range there, and then it fails out there. Yeah, so if you put when it attempts to go back up again and fails, that's where you want your entry to be. You can just take a scalp. This is a tougher trade because of this micro channel line. It's probably more like this anyway. But you should be able to get a scalp out of there, maybe a move of this range target to lows. And then it just rejects off the bottom here, and the spikes back up. It's almost like it fails to break out. It breaks out, retests, fails again, and heads back up again. So yeah, but you're just really playing these parts, trying to get the breakouts. You're basically trading breakouts. Al Brooks says that like 90% of the bars are in channel, either in ranges or channels, and he seems to be correct. And then you just take the breakouts, and he's always just looking for breakouts, I believe. And same as Lance Beggs and Mack, they're all just they're trading when everyone's exiting. That's what they always say. They're always trading when people are exiting. So everyone's exiting when this bar comes out here, and they're getting in, and that's the whole name of the game. So really, they're just trading breakouts. They all have different terminology, but they're all doing very similar things. Okay, I'll just because my battery ran out on my iPad, I'll have to log in to the paper trading and just show you the trades from last night, so you can see the trades I took. Now remember, this is just paper trade. I didn't trade last night because of the banks being closed. I just thought it's going to be a low volume night, and I had to help my wife do some gardening outside at 4:30 in the afternoon. But so I just made a $5,000 trading account, and I just took those 3 positions. Yeah. So I'll just close this. The last trade was, oh, it's out here. Sorry. So yeah, first trade, second trade, and then this third trade, which I think I talked about in the video. Yeah, so the video sort of, the iPad sort of ran out of battery about here. So anyway, it ended up coming out for a win, but I was outside taking these trades, literally digging holes while I was taking these trades. So if you want to learn how to trade, just paper trade, and you can trade anywhere. You know, you can trade while you're gardening or doing in the car or whatever, just learning the process, trade any asset and just practice, you know, the thing. But my process is looking for overshoots on micro channels and trading the smaller ranges. And I believe that's what everyone is virtually doing, just trading breakouts. They've all got different names for all their setups, but that is the general idea. They're all trying to get the breakout. Anyway, that's it.